This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of November 11th, 2022, brought to you by That's Good HR. I'm Alex Brown. Brent Yeagy, CEO of Lafayette-based trailer and truck body manufacturer Wabash, says the company is well positioned for economic uncertainty as demand shows no sign of easing. He says the company has been able to overcome inefficiencies found as a result of supply chain challenges and the pandemic.
The rolling assets, in our case, trailers and truck bodies, become a very important piece of managing that inefficiency because they're rolling warehouses. And in today's market, one of the ways that you manage that inefficiency is to make sure that freight never stops moving. So the last thing you want is a load sitting on a dock waiting. Trailers make it available for that dock or for that load to keep moving and to minimize the disruptions, the waiting, keep everything moving. Because of that, our customers have been very resilient through this entire process, and we think that's going to continue. That translates to great performance for Wabash.
Last month, the company reported a record $2.3 billion order backlog, as well as record quarterly sales of $655 million. The latest data from the 7th Federal Reserve District in Chicago shows the value of good quality Indiana farmland continues to skyrocket, climbing 29% year over year. It's the highest increase throughout the Midwest region, which includes all or part of Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Holiday World and Splash and Safari is going cashless. The theme park says the switch, which will kick in for the 2023 season, will allow for faster and smoother operations and increased security. Holiday World says all locations in the parks will accept major credit cards, as well as Apple Pay, Google Pay, Holocash, and its new Ready Card. Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is made possible by the following.
With one call to That's Good HR, your hiring challenge is solved. It's that simple. That's Good HR is the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Have an HR, accounting, administrative, or customer service position to fill? Trust That's Good HR to make a match that's good for everyone, whether temp to hire, or a direct hire placement. For 22 years, That's Good HR has been handpicking employees and employers through a highly personal and authentic approach that delivers long-term results. Visit that'sgoodhr.com. Remember, the match matters.
Get ready, Northeast Indiana. We're headed your way. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business November 29 at Fort Wayne's Grand Wayne Convention Center for Engage Northeast Indiana. We've assembled the region's top business, community, and philanthropic leaders for a discussion on the issue shaping the future of Northeast Indiana. From attracting top talent to workforce and economic development, we'll explore what's working and big ideas for what's next. RSVP by November 18 at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
Indiana's higher education officials have approved recommendations for a new approach to funding. Here's Wes Mills.
The proposed recommendations are to provide funding based on school-specific goals rather than blanket recommendations, but some raise concerns about the prospective model, saying it still lacks clear goals for the state's public colleges and universities. Others caution that it could unfairly shift the burden of improving some metrics, like Indiana's dismal college-going rate, to institutions of higher education instead of K-12 schools. The state's largest public post-secondary institution, Ivy Tech Community College, is additionally pushing back, maintaining that recent progress made by the school will not be rewarded, which could mean millions of dollars are no longer guaranteed. The proposed funding model was crafted by the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, which the General Assembly tasked with researching a new formula to cover cost at Indiana's state colleges and universities. The commission voted unanimously to advance the prospective funding model to the State Budget Committee, where it will be up for consideration on December 7th. Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A 175-year-old building in Cambridge City is being marked for preservation. Richmond-based Reed Health has donated the two-story brick building that was originally used as a warehouse in the 1840s to local historical organization Western Wayne Heritage. The building, which is part of the town's historic district, last housed the practice of Dr. James Birch, who also serves as president of Western Wayne Heritage. Reed Health says the organization is currently evaluating what future plans will be for the property. Our conversation with Wabash CEO Brent Yeagy continues as he used Veterans Day to reflect on his military experience and how it helped shape him into the business leader he is today. Yeagy served in the U.S. Navy from 1991 to 1995, where he specialized in nuclear power. He told Wes Mills that working in that high-pressure field required a high attention to detail, a skill he still relies on today.
I think it was an understanding that not only attention to detail, but process adherence creates resiliency. Because one of the things they would drive into us is that during times of conflict or high stress, you rely on your training, you rely on your process orientation to take you through that fog. And you don't wing it, right? There's a way that you handle every situation. And you got to do the pre-work to be prepared for when ambiguity strikes.
Do you think there were some skills that you learned in the military that kind of translate into your current role as CEO at Wabash?
Yeah. So when you take that, I mean, a CEO's job is helping navigate a company through uncertainty. Nothing more, this pandemic that we went through over the last couple of years was a test case for how do you lead an organization through high levels of uncertainty and ambiguity, trying to keep them resilient under significant amounts of change. Well, the military prepares leaders for that. That's what they do.
Yagi says there are common attributes among many military veterans, and that is something human resource departments should recognize as they consider hiring a person who has served in the armed forces. This report is brought to you by That's Good HR, the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. More at that'sgoodhr.com. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.